now it's like we never met. Forever leaves fast in the middle of the night. Forever breaks my heart and never says goodbye. Days and nights, skin and bone, I'm still here, but you moved on. I live inside an old photograph. I wish that I could feel your love again. So I live inside that old photograph, and I wish that I could feel your love again. Forever falls in love with the guy that wears sweater vests. She used to be mine, but now it's like we never met. Forever leaves fast in the middle of the night. Forever breaks my heart and never says goodbye.
It was working. Oh no, that's working. All right, it's working. Right, you should be able to hear me. I think. Just let me know if you can see me and you can hear me. No audio. Fuck. No audio. Are you sure, Stevie? What? Is audio working now? Is the audio working now? Right. Okay. Yeah, you know something, there's a delay between what I can see in my screen, which is me out in the middle of nowhere, and the chat that's coming up. So when I can see my audio bouncing up and down and you're saying, no, it's not working, I'm like, oh, but it is. It's just a bit delayed. Okay, right, I've got it. I'll have to bear that in mind then, that the chat's a bit delayed. Right, as long as everybody can see me and hear me. Yes, we're out here, out in East Ayrshire. A 5-minute drive along the road to where I live. And that view behind me, I don't know if you wait if I turn it around a wee bit. I'll probably lose everything. No, in fact, I'm not going to bother. I just lost the chat. I knew I shouldn't have moved anything. Right, let's even get the chat back up on the screen. And it should come back up. I shouldn't have moved anything. Right, okay, there you go. Right, I've got the chat back up. Good. Right, I'll show you where I am later on, because I do have Caledonia, right? And she's all hooked up and ready to go. And I will show you where I am and the surroundings and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, so I'm having to lean a wee bit forward because of the way I've set everything up. Everything's sitting up in the back of the car, excuse me, and I'm sitting in my nice camper chair, so I have to kind of lean forward to reach. I'll maybe adjust that for the next time I do this. So anyway, a few wee hellos. I've said hello to everybody before the stream started, that was in before the stream started, but haven't yet said hello to Paul. So, that's, I can't see that at the top of my screen. Wait, I'll make that bigger. Right, there you go, I can see it now. Paul, Windswept Robert, look you with the nice weather down here in Dorset. It's raining. Really? You guys were supposed to be having a heat wave down in England, but there you go. Right, so everybody's telling me the audio is good. That's fine, thanks. Right, cheers to that Tom letting me know that the audio is good. Yeah, I've changed things for those of you who popped into the wee live stream test that I did yesterday to try it out. The very first time I'd ever tried it, just to see if it would work, and a few of you popped in. The audio wasn't good. because I was using the audio from this MacBook here. But I knew that. I knew that the audio wouldn't be too good, and I knew that if it worked, I could then attach my DJI mic, which would allow me to do things like this. Oh my God. Right, it will allow me to go way back here, and you should still be able to hear me. I don't really know for sure, and I can't see the screen now, but you should have been able to hear me all the way back there, just the same as if I was sitting right here. Yes. So if that worked, that little experiment, let me know in the chat. Just say aye, that worked there. Right. Okay. So I don't know what that means, but it's probably referring to something else. Okay. Right. Peter, I don't think it was you that had your TV muted. I think it was me that just didn't have things set the way I actually should have, so don't worry about it. Right, so, oh Jeff, I'll answer your question in a wee minute. Hello to Dave, I haven't said hello to you. Tom, you're probably going to be disappointed, because it's nothing more than just about the usual waffle. I'll be having no a rant, but I'll be talking about a few things. But later on in the stream, I will send Caledonia up, and you will be able to see her view, and I'll show you all around about there. I'll fly around, and you'll be able to see exactly where I am and where I'm located as much as I can. And on the drive here, the drive up the hill, this is halfway up to a wind turbine farm, and on the drive up here, I passed about 3 deer and a couple of wee baby deer. What are they called? Deerlings? Bambies? I don't know. I passed a few. Well, I didn't pass a few of them. They came running past me. So if we're quiet, you never know. You might get a couple of deer appearing, popping up round about me. And when I send Caledonia up, we might see some deer as well. Anyway, right. So hello to Graham. Jeff. Yeah, no midges. We don't really get very many midges down in the south of Scotland. I'm in the southwest of Scotland. We don't get many midges here. We do get some, but they're not really vicious. And where I am, we get clegs. I think they're, what kind of flies are they now? Horse flies, I think the English name for it is. We call them clegs, and they are buzzing about. And one actually landed on me and bit me earlier on, just down here. So I'll be checking that out when I get home. Probably putting some antiseptic cream on it. So there are clegs, and they're quite annoying, but you know, there you are. Mark, you're supposed to be at a graduation party, right, mate? You're on here watching it while you're at the grad party. Get some of those young college, if it's college or university graduation chicks in as well. They'll see there's another cleg on me, and you don't feel them landing. You only know they're on you when they start sucking your blood. You know, that's when you know that they're actually on you. So be probably a bit of that slapping going on tonight. All right. So Mark's still modding for me, but Stevie, that's why you're mod tonight as well, because I thought Mark was going to be at the graduation party and wouldn't be able to mod for me tonight. Not that I think there's much of a need for modding, really. I only remember took on mods because I thought I might get a bit of trolling and whatnot for the Auditors, but I don't seem to be getting any of that. I thought I'm maybe not as hated or even as well known to them as I thought I was. Big shot me. Right, aye, Nick. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's absolutely beautiful here. It's now, well, as you know, it's 6 minutes past 7, and I'm in a vest and shorts. It's absolutely glorious, and it'll probably stay. I brought a t-shirt just in case I need it, but I probably won't need it because it's so nice tonight. A wee haggis running about, mate. Is it? They normally run about in families. You don't normally see a single haggis, Stevie. If you saw a single one, that's quite unusual. They don't normally. You don't normally see them singly. They're normally at least 2 of them, and usually a wee pack. You know, you probably get some adult ones and then a couple of weird ones running about as well. But aye, we might get some haggis coming right up. Sometimes they will come right up to you, you know. But then you just dunt them in the head with a hammer, take them home, and you can cook them and eat them. Okay, right, Mark, you want rescued from a graduation party? Are you daft? I mean, come on, man. You must be surrounded by chicks. Right, okay, John, aye. if we get a ranger coming up to me tonight, I'll invite him on to the live stream and maybe have a wee chat. You never know. You never know. Bloody Clegs. Oh, did you see that one flying right in front of the camera there? You'll probably see them in a bit. Right, okay, drone shots, hello to you. Sorry about that, Jason. I know if you don't slap them quick, they will sink their fangs into you and start sucking your blood, and that's when it starts to nip a bit and you have to kind of slap them off a wee bit. Right, okay. Stevie, you know something? I don't even think the auditors are aware of me. Maybe DJ audits and PG audits, because I've done a couple of videos about them. But I don't think any of the rest of the auditors are even aware of me. But that moves me along to one of my topics that I want to talk about, and it's not auditors. Well, not directly auditors. Moan the Clegs, moan the humans, the Clegs. Right, this is not really about auditors per se, but I've been thinking recently about the topic that I spoke about. It wasn't last week because I took the weekend off because it was so nice. But the week before, I was speaking about how the auditors may get the law changed. And it doesn't take much for a new law to be introduced. All it takes is for the MPs to be annoyed enough to put the bill through, get it passed, and suddenly we've got a new law. And I did explain that they've done this in the past with the right to protest. If they brought in laws that are pretty much preventing you. If you now protest a slow march down the street, you can be arrested for that. So it can happen. And I was saying that the other thing that can make laws change is if the lobbyists, the guys with the money, the big company men, lobby their MPs for a change in the law, then that'll bring in a change in the law as well. Right, so I was thinking to myself, I wonder at the moment, the CAA brought the latest change or amendment or slight tweak to the regulations that they brought in was the AMC, the acceptable means of compliance, which I'm sure you're all aware, but I'll remind anyone who doesn't know. It now means that not only do you have to fly your drone within visual line of sight, you must also know the orientation of the drone when it's in flight by using only your eyes, nothing else, right? Which really limits the range that you can fly one of these wee mini drones out, especially if you're an older guy and your eyesight's maybe deteriorating a wee bit. I mean, I have to wear glasses when I don't have to wear glasses when I'm driving, but it helps sharpen up the road signs. So if I'm flying Caledonia out to a distance where it might be a bit difficult to start seeing the orientation, I can put my glasses on and get a few metres further, but you're still looking at 200 metres maximum before you lose the ability to tell the orientation, right? So that's an example of not a new regulation coming in, but a wee addition. And I was thinking to myself, currently how many people have actually been charged or prosecuted with drone crimes? And I had in the UK, in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and I had a wee look just to see, and I'm just going to interrupt myself for a minute and say, Graham, it doesn't work, mate. I have been told that if you chew licorice, that helps. I don't get too bothered with them. It's just occasionally they'll land on me. There's a big one just flying in there now. As I say, they don't often bother me, but that doesn't really work, I've heard. Oh right, aye, probably. Is that a good one? Peter says, I hear that the real Highlanders wear Wellington boots filled with cockle shells. Then when a wild haggis gets hold of your leg, hears the cockles getting crushed and thinks it's broken your shin bone. Well, the wild haggis don't usually, they're no aggressive, well they're a bit aggressive, but they're no aggressive enough I think to come up and try to grab your leg. But I mean, you could be right. I mean, up in the Highlands they're probably a bit more aggressive than they are down here. Anyway, so what I did is I had a look online just to see who's been prosecuted, and I didn't want to go back too far because back in 2006 I think it was, there was a guy prosecuted, but he was flying a Phantom 4 and he flew it at it was a big stadium football match, and he flew it right up to Buckingham Palace, and there was somebody else who flew it and he got arrested and he got done for that. But that was quite a long time ago, and I really wanted to talk about just, Dave, you are one of those statistics. I just wanted to talk about guys or people that we know who have currently or recently got done. So I had a look. We all know about this one. Let's see if I can. I'm out in the open, but I've set up my system as well as I can, and if I can flick up. It's not so good. Right, you probably couldn't hear me when I did that because I forgot to add the mic onto the screen sharing one. So I'll tell you what it is, and then I'll quickly flick over and show you. In fact, I wonder if I could just copy that. Let me just do a wee copy. Command copy, and I'll go and paste. Just give me a second. Screen 8. Right, there you go. Okay, so you should hear me now. That's the screeny, but I don't see anything on the screen. That's not so good. Let me move that down. Let me move that up. Oh, I've lost it. That's not so good. Right. I had it a wee minute ago, and now it's going. Just give me 2 ticks and I'll see if I can get it back. No, I can't. That's a shame. Anyway, what I was going to say was, I'll just read it out. There was we all know about the pilot that flew next to the Hawker hurricane, the hurricane, right? Back in July 22. We know about him. He got done for it. I did a video on it, so we know he got fairly hammered, right? There's also a guy in court. Recently, I did another video on him. I think Lewis Franks flying over Chesterfield's Technique Stadium in May, just last month, during the club's game, a National League playoff semi-final, right? So we know about him. He got done as well. We know the first guy was Mark Bagley, who flew near the aeroplane, right? So we know about him. There's another guy just recently, in fact 2 days ago was it, 8th of June, I don't know what date this is, 11th, 3 days ago, an Essex man has become the first person prosecuted for flying a drone near the TT races. I wish I could get that screen up to show you there. I had it working earlier, but of course it's not working now. Right, that's not going to work. Right, so this guy, an Essex man, Alex Matthew Shrimpton, appeared before magistrates. 23-year-old admitted flying a drone within a kilometre of a TT course race during the race. Right, he was within a kilometre, so I mean he could have been, I suppose, 5 metres away, but I don't know. He was within a kilometre. He claims that he never knew anything about the race. He was just up flying his drone and he just happened to be within a kilometre. But the police swooped on him, right? Got him. He got a £3,000 fine, £125 cost. Well, he got a £3,000 fine, or immediately pay that, or face 180 days in jail. 180 days, that's 6 months. 6 months in the nick. The drone equipment was also forfeited and destroyed. I mean, what? Right? So here's another guy. So they're mounting up. Another guy, February. This is an idiot, right? Mr. Gousakis, the Gardaí in Dublin charged Mr. Gousakis for flying at Dublin Airport, right? What a clown, right? That's a completely idiotic thing to do, but he got done as well. Okay, so let me bring this. Oh, I'm just going to bring this all back to me, but I am back. I'll bring the chat back up. Right. So there has been an increase recently over the past few months of drone flyers getting charged and the police being more active in. All right, you might be thinking about extreme examples like the TT races, Buckingham Palace, flying over a stadium during a football match, flying up close to an aircraft at a show. In these cases, deserve to be prosecuted. But I think that these cases, plus the massive number of frauditors, and we all know about them, that are on there doing what they do now, are going to lead to the same thing. Drone time flights. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. I think that there are going to be new regulations coming in, and quite a number of the frauditors that you may not have heard of before, and I'm not going to give you their names or their channels in, because I don't want to give them any more publicity than they've got. But 4 of them were arrested the other day. They've now changed. They're not calling themselves auditors anymore. They're not doing auditing. Well, they're doing exactly the same as they've always done, but what they're calling it now is they're calling it UBEXing. We are now UBEXers, right? Urban explorers. Do you believe it, right? Urban explorers. So they are now going to be exploring urban areas, which basically means they're just going to be auditing. 4 of them went down to what used to be, I think, it used to be John Lennon Airport, right? And it was closed in Liverpool. It was, some of you may have heard about this. John Lennon Airport in Liverpool was closed down quite a while ago, I think. And these 4 frauditors, now calling themselves UBEXers or Urbexers, some of them call themselves urban explorers, went trogging down to do some exploring, urban exploring at the old John Lennon Airport, right? Well, it's now a prison. Or maybe not a prison, but it's a centre where they hold it's either it's no refugees. I think it's either illegal immigrants or it's people who are claiming asylum and still waiting for their paperwork to come through. I think, I'm not sure, but it's basically a place where there are people held in pretty much a prison against their will, John Lennon Airport now, and they went down there. I think they knew this, and they all got arrested, all of them. They had all their camera equipment taken off of them, and 2 of them had their cars. They drove in 2 cars. 2 of them, the 2 cars were impounded. They took them off them, impounded the cars, took them away and I think they looked them up, and they have to appear. I think they've all got different appearance dates, but they've been given bail conditions that they can't film anymore. They can't even speak to each other or travel with each other or meet or anything like that for this foreseeable future. Now, these are guys that constantly claim that they have the right to do this and the right to do that, and they spout the law here and the law there. Now, none of the laws have changed, right? But the police are now using other methods to say, right, we are going to do you for this instead of this, and they might be putting out old 1812 laws to prevent people from doing what we think we're entitled to do. And I don't know why I'm smiling and laughing, because as you can see, well, you didn't see because my screen thing, I don't know why that's not working, but that's really annoying. Aye, that should have been working, but however. I lost the thread of what I was saying there. So the police, I think, are going to be starting to come down hard on anyone who is flying a drone. Now, I'm pretty safe because I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, right? And it would take the police, even if anyone spotted that I was here. I don't have a drone up at the moment, but I will be having one up in about 9 minutes. If someone spotted me and phoned the police, and the police eventually came, they'd have to come for the nearest town, which is a while ago. It would take them a good half hour to get here if they left immediately, right? So I'm pretty safe where I am. But for a lot of you people who fly your drones in more urban areas and more, populated areas, I think you're going to start to get hammered a wee bit by the police. And even pulling out the old, well, as long as I'm flying for a public place, it's a sub 250 gram drone, etc, 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 is no going to wash. And I had a couple of things up that I was going to show you. For example, I had a look through the CAA drone guide just to see if there's anything else other than the information that we all know you can't fly closer than 150 metres or 50 metres if you're A2C or C, or there's no limit to how close you can fly with a sub 250 gram drone. And you can fly over people and involve people with a sub 250 gram drone, etc. So I had a look to see that, and I've got it all up here, but I can't switch it over. I don't know why that's not working. That's just a pain in the bahookie. But and give me 2 seconds, and I'll see if I can add another window, a display capture. Let's see, and I'll call it that. I'll call it that. This might work. Maybe. It worked. Thank goodness for that. Right, there's a screen, the other screen that I've got that shows me all my chat, and I can actually see the chat. And you see how it's in different colours. So that's quite good. Right, so here's what I was talking about first of all. Right, that was the drone pilot that pleads guilty to endangering the historic aircraft. Right, we all know about that one. That's the guy that flew at Buxton Carnival, flew the Hurricane. Right, here's the one where this guy, man 27, accused of flying a drone. That was a Chesterfield Fitba guy, right? So he's done that, and he's now breaking his heart about it. But you know, there you go, mate. Sorry about that. So this one here as well. This is the guy flying for flying drone near TT races, near the races. Now this guy might not have even known there was well, he must have known the races were on. I mean, if he was in Isle of Man during the TT races, he had to have known it, you would think. But he was within a kilometre, and he got done hard, right? £3,000 fine, right? Ordered to pay £225 costs or face 6 months in the jail. Oh my goodness. Right, so there was that. Then we get this clown here. The Gardaí charged Mr. Gousakis, 41, with knowingly causing a false alarm by flying an unmanned aerial system. Blah, blah, de blah. Right, you clown, why did you do that? You must have known it was against all these regulations. Right, okay. So this is what I was looking at. Right, oh no, that's not the right one. Is this the one? No, that's not. No, it's not either. Right, I've lost the one I was going to look at. Right, I'll bring my face back for a minute and just tell you, and then I'll show you something else. Oh, wait a minute. Right, I'll put that down there. There we go, that's me back. Right, so I had a look through all the guidelines, and there are other places that you can't fly that I was kind of aware of, but not completely aware of. And there's one place in particular, and I'll bring it back up now and show you. Here we go. Right, this is the guide. Right, let me get that back up. Sorry for all the messing about. I just wish it was working a bit better. Right, so this is the drone CAA guide, where you can fly, where you can't fly. It tells you exactly where you can fly and where you can't fly, right? But one thing that caught my eye here was this, right? Sites of Special Scientific Interest, SSSI. Right, now you might be thinking, what the hell? How do I know what is a site of? Can I wait to see if I? Where's my cursor? Oh, sorry. If I can I blank that out? Aye, you might be asking yourself, right? How am I supposed to know what's a site of? What is it? Site of Special Scientific Interest? Or no? Because they're everywhere, and it even says well, there's over something like 3,000 in the UK, and you're not allowed to fly. Right, here for example, it tells you, right, the following national authorities provide information on SSIs, and you can click on them, right, Natural England, Wales, Northern Ireland and Scotland, right. So if I clicked on the Scotland, I don't want to do it now. Right, so on the Scotland one, it will show you, I'm going to give you an example, and I'll talk to you first, and I need to get a shifty on you, so I want to get Caledonia up. I fly a lot, and you'll probably know this if you've been a long time subscriber to the channel. I fly Lochdoon quite a lot, right? So I thought to myself, I'm going to go on this special scientific interest map and look up Lochdoon. Here's what I found. Wait, you see this? Right, so that's Lochdoon there, right? Now see how it's all red and checkered? That means it's a site of special scientific interest, okay? And it has restrictions on it, right? Now, you're all thinking, oh, that ranger was right. Hold on a minute, right? Don't get too hasty. So Loch Doon, the loch itself, is a site of special scientific interest, and it has certain restrictions, right? What are the restrictions on this particular site? Let me flick it back on. What are the restrictions on this particular site? Well, it's okay. I'm alright, because here we go. Loch Doon, site of special scientific interest. Shows you here, tells you the purpose. And the reason it's a special site is because this thing here, the Arctic char, right, which is an ancient salmon, right, a northern member of the salmon family, right, it's endangered, right, genetically distinct from other naturally occurring populations of Arctic char, right, so it's in danger. It tells you here, unfavourable, declining, right. So why this part of Loch Doon is a site of special scientific interest is because of the Arctic char. So you're allowed to fly your drone there, but there may be restrictions in swimming, canoeing, paddleboarding, different things like that. So when the ranger goes about and tells folk, oh, get out, no paddleboarding here, he might not just being a total DICK, total Nigel, he might be right enough. There are bylaws that prevent you if you're going into the water with a paddleboard, because that maybe upsets the Arctic char, and is going to make their population decline even more. So the whole reason I'm saying this is that not just the frauditors, but us as drone pilots, we need to look at a bit more than just, it's a sub 250 gram, as long as I'm on public land I can take off and fly anywhere. No, you can't, because you have to check, and that's just one thing that I found. I just found the site that one site there telling me that, because I thought at first, oh God, have I been flying and I really shouldn't have been flying there. But no, that site's okay. But what I'm going to have to do now is, every time I come out somewhere, I'm going to have to check, is it a site of special scientific inquiry, whatever, interest? If it is, why is it? Is our drones going to be restricted because of that? And it also says on that site that there doesn't have to be a sign up telling you that. Did you see that Clegg there just shooting off on us? It was sucking on my arm. There doesn't have to be signs up telling you no drone flying because site of special scientific interest, right? It doesn't have to do anything. So you could be flying at one of these sites unknowingly. The police can come up, take your drone equipment off you, charge you, arrest you, charge you, get you prosecuted. You'll get done for flying a drone in a site of special scientific interest. So that's just one thing that I found. So I think there's probably other things too within the drone guide that you can't do. And I think the police will now start to zero in on that, especially if the lobbyists get onto the government about this, and especially if the frauditors keep hassling the police. They're going to say, right, we'll get them, we'll get our own way back, let's work out. And somebody, I mean, I'm not the brain of Britain, and I've figured this out, so I'm sure there are much more intelligent people in the police than I. So somebody's going to figure it out in the police, say, right, let's get them on this, let's just wait till they, or let's, it's going to happen. Not just this SSSI site, but there are going to be other things too. Okay, anyway, so that's all I wanted to say on that. It's past. Right, let me have a wee look at your chat. I'm hoping you can all still hear me and see me. My audio monitor's got up and down, so that's good, and I can see myself in the screen, so I'm hoping. Right, so let me have a wee look on the chat. Right, so the last thing I saw was Drone Time Flights gave me a wee super chat, and I said thanks. Well, I say thanks again for that. Drone Time Flights, it means a lot to me, especially because if I'm going to be coming out and doing this a wee bit more often, my fuel costs are going to go up, so that's going straight in the tank. Thanks very much, I appreciate it. Right, okay, let's see what else we've got. Chris B says, when it's all said and done, I guess the only thing drone flyers will be allowed to do is hover over your backyard, turn 360 degrees, land it. It could be coming that way, Chris. Maybe not in Scotland. We have the Land Reform Act, the Land Reform Scotland Act 2003, which gives us a lot of freedoms. I mean, we're allowed to go into any land we want for any recreational purpose, and flying a drone's a recreational purpose, and also for any purpose of education. So if I educate you a little bit, which I have done by explaining what a special site of scientific interest is, and I'll show you some of the area that I'm allowed to do it in Scotland. And also, if you're promoting the natural heritage of Scotland, you're allowed to go anywhere and do that. So by me flying around about the trees and the hills and the glens and the dales and all that kind of stuff, that is me showing off the Scotland's natural heritage, and I'm allowed to do that in Scotland under the Land Reform Scotland Act 2003, and nobody can stop me, not the landowner. Landowner could come and say, oh, this is my land, get off, and I can say, no, on your bike, landowner. I'm here for the purposes of education and to show off the natural heritage of Scotland. So on your bike, and there's nothing you can do. And if I want to pitch a tent and sleep there, I can do that too. But that's Scotland, okay? You unlucky people in England, thanks again for that, drone time flights. You guys in England you don't have that. You don't have the Land Reform Act, so you can't do that. If someone, all of the land in England is owned, all of it. So if the owner or a representative of the owner, doesn't have to be the owner himself, if the representative of the owner of the land comes and tells you, get off, you have to get off. Simple as that. If they say land your drone now and get off, you've got no recourse. You have to do it. And if you don't, and they have to, and they're allowed to then physically remove you. And as soon as they put hands on you, it becomes aggravated trespass, and it's a criminal offence you've committed. So they can actually then move you off, hodge you till the police come, they'll arrest you for criminal aggravated trespass, which is a criminal offence. So you've not got it as good in England as I have, and I think, who is it that said it? Chris B said it. You could be limited to just flying about your back garden. Kamikaze Chaos, what regs? That's fine saying that. I understand what you're saying. I understand the point, and that's fine until you get arrested and charged, and then it's what regs? These regs: £3,000 fine, £125 cost. Pay it now, or you're going to jail for 6 months. So that's what regs. Okay. That it could be coming. I don't know. I think we're a few years away from any possibility of that, to be honest with you. But it's possible, right? Peter says that the John Lennon Airport's still open. Right, I might have got the story a bit mixed up because I was dead excited. There's a group. I'm in a Facebook group. Oh, what's it called now? Oh dear, I don't even think I've got my Facebook open. I can't remember. I'll post a link when this goes into a video to tell you. I'm in a group. It's not exposing the auditors, but it's Frauditors Exposed or something like that. It's really great, and they give you all the news updates. The frauditors are all infighting. They're all really, they're stabbing each other in the back all over the place. All of them. They're all really stabbing each other at the moment. It's fun to watch. Right, okay. Swanland, can you paste the details of the prosecutions into this video before you publish it? I don't know. I'll put the links up of the things that I've talked about tonight. Right, okay. I know I'm going to be probably missing a lot of comments here, and I'm sorry about the like button. Can you do it now, please? It'll help push this. The lives never do very well, but you never know. It'll help me a wee bit, and it helps me. It makes me feel a bit better that I had 50 people in, and 3 of them had their thumbs up. I'm like, well, is it worth my while doing it? But if I've got 50 people in and 50 thumbs ups, then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to continue to do it. Right, okay. Audit HQ is one of them, but that's not the group that I'm part of that I really like. But Audit HQ is part of that group too. Right, okay. Anyway, hello Maltese Falcon, how you doing? Right, let me get Caledonia up, because I want to show you my layout at the back of the car. I want to show you how I'm doing this, and the best way to do that is to put Caledonia up and let her have a look, and you'll be able to see. So let me check the time first of all. Right, okay, 23 minutes left. So here we go. I'm going to turn on Caledonia.
I didn't catch that.
Oh,
Try again.
here's, see, Siri always wants to talk to me for some reason. I don't know why. Turn on the...
Sorry, I'm still not sure about that.
Just shut up, Siri. Right, I'll have to turn back.
To be right.
Oh, why is she always talking? Right, it's nice to be right, she says. Because I told her to shut up. Right, if I turn back on that, okay. So that's the screen you're I'm going to go big screen, don't worry about it. So here's Caledonia, right? Let me just show you my setup at the moment, right? So here's the back. Look, there's me. Right. So there's the back of the. Let me go big, right? I'll go big, and I hope you can still hear me. Right. So there's the back. It's the back of my car, right? And I've got, that's my power unit there. That's my Blue Yeti power supply unit that's powering everything. That's my MacBook there with my OBS studio run. There's a Clegg running the studio. That's the second monitor I've got there with all of the chat, right? I need it that size because of my old eyes so that I can see the chat, because I can't see it on that tiny wee screen there. So that's how I'm set up. And the other thing is, obviously, I've got the, you know, the RC Pro, and it's hooked up to the MacBook, right, via an Elgato Cam link, and that allows me to put this screen on. But let me launch her now. I can't go too far because I am cabled, tethered to the MacBook with the controller. But let me go and fly her a wee bit. Aye, she I like that, Paul. Get her up quick. She will slice those pesky flies. I wonder if the, oh, I can't bring you up at the moment. I wonder if, God, I'm sitting halfway down a hill, so stone up. Right, okay, so here we go. Right, and I'm sure you can. I'll tilt that back a bit so you can see me. Probably lose the chat screen again. Right, so I'm going to fire Caledonia. Oh, our gimbal's away down there. Let me get our gimbal back up. Right, there we go. So let me just have a wee look at the moment, right? I'm halfway up this hill, and if I had continued on, there's a wind farm up there, right? You still hearing me? Ah, yeah, there's a wind farm up there, but I didn't want to go all the way up to the wind farm. Halfway. I'll launch Caledonia the new. Look at, I had my belly in. Look at me, I'm losing weight. So let's so there's Caledonia. Right, I'll stand out here and I'm alright, you wait to hear the mic. So here she is, off on a wee flight, and I'll leave, what I'll do is I'll shut off my handsome face here, because we don't need that anymore. Don't turn your back, but right, okay, sorry about that. Don't turn your back, you're blocking the signal. Right, let me turn off my face. Which one is it? Is it that one? Aye, right. So somebody just asked, are we allowed to fly near wind farms? Aye, we are. Well, I've got a video up where I flew, not near it, but right through it. I was flying through the turbines, and aye, you're allowed to do it as long as you do a risk assessment first, and if whatever risks you find, as long as you put things into place to either alleviate those risks down to an acceptable level. And there's me right there. So that's where I am tonight. Aye, that's a good point about me not turning my back, because I'd lose the signal. So what I'd probably be better to do is continue to face that way. Right, where is that wind farm? Where's the nearest? There, it's there. There's the nearest windmill there. So I'm not going to fly right up to that wind farm now, right? But this is quite a nice wee area. Look at that beautiful blue sky. How nice is that? And this is at, what time is it? We're 7:45 on a Sunday night, and it's in Scotland, and it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's, and that buzzing that you can probably hear about isn't Caledonia. That buzzing is the clegs. So it's a wee bit hazy over to the left of the screen there, but that's because that's where the sun is. And I'm not using any filters on Caledonia at the moment. So let me. She's a way up there. Let's bring her down. Did you know that if you pull down on the control stick, she'll come down fairly slowly? I've just switched into sport mode. But if you move her back and forward at the same time as you're pulling the down stick, she will descend much faster. I don't know if any of you know that or not, but that's a fact. You can test it yourself. You can go out and have a look and just pull her down, pull the stick down, and you'll see how slowly they descend. But then if you move her back and forward or forward while you're pulling that stick down, she will descend much faster. Right, so actually see that windmill over there, it's not that far away. I wonder if I could fly. I probably wouldn't get over all the way over to it, but I can maybe go over a wee bit and then zoom in a bit. But aye, to whoever it was that was asking, who was it that asked that? I can't remember. But somebody did ask, can you fly, you know, at wind turbines? Right, that's a bit. I can't really go any further than that because I'm starting to lose the orientation. I can't really. I can't go much further than that. See that, and that's such a shame about this new AMC, acceptable means of compliance. It means that normally I would have been able to go out to like 500 metres, but I can't even do that now. Because at 500 metres I just can't see Caledonia's orientation, or Lassie's orientation. That's my Mini 2 for anyone who doesn't know. Look, see how hazy it is with the sun there. So I can't go out that far, which is a real shame, but you know, it is what it is. Oh, yeah, I'm not dive bombing there, I'm just zooming in. So there's a wee I mean, there's this area of Scotland is absolutely covered in turbines, but look at how slow those blades are rotating. I mean, there's hardly a breath of wind here at the moment, and that's why it's such a beautiful place to come and fly when it's like this. Because somebody, oh look, they went up there at the top, right at the summit. They're moving a wee bit faster, so there's probably a wee bit more wind going on up there. Now I'm not that close. I've got the zoom on full, so don't think if you're thinking, oh, he's way up there. No, he's no. I've got the zoom on. Right, so that was it. A wee flight about, just to keep you entertained. Now, if there's, I'm thinking about doing some more of these, but maybe in addition to my studio live stream. So maybe one evening during the week, I'll find a site of Scottish historical interest. Maybe a castle ruins or something like that, and I'll just head out and do a wee live from it. But in order to do that, I will need some assistance. So if anybody's thinking about doing a super chat, I would appreciate that, because if I'm going to be doing that, it is going to cost me quite a lot of fuel. So even if I get a wee part subsidy of that, it would certainly help a bit anyway. But there you go. So I'll fly her back again, back to the back, and just show you the setup I've got here. And there's my wee chair. Wait, she had a bit of a wobble there. Did you see that? I wonder what that was all about. Maybe she got a cleg attack. Aye, she's having a couple of wobbles there. Right. So that's, oh, you probably can't, you can see me, you can see me on Caledonia's screen. Right, so there's the setup again. Caledonia should be looking at it, she can't really see it very clearly. But put it on the cine mode. There you go, that's the setup. Alright. She's got her obstacle avoidance on at the moment, so I can't take her too close. She wouldn't go too close. There we go. So let me see if I can just switch over to, what one would it be then? That one there. Right. See the fuss she's making. Now she's making all that fuss because I grabbed her before I actually started to pull down and she tried to escape. If you pull down and let it land in your hand, it will not make that noise. Right, so let me put her down just for a second and come back to the chat. Right, so and I'll put Caledonia's screen off for a moment. Paul, I put that quote comment of yours up before I took her off, but couldn't see it in the other screen. Right, let me just drop that off and let me get. Peter says the wind is only supplying 11% of our energy at the moment. Well, Peter, I don't know about that, mate. As far as I'm aware, the wind in Scotland supplies 100% of the energy in Scotland, and we export a good percentage of it as well. So maybe the wind's only supplying 11% of your energy, or the energy of the entire UK, but it's supplying all of Scotland's energy. You know what I mean? We have a surplus. We are fully supplied with our wind energy and more. So there you go. I know you don't like to hear that, Peter, because you're a staunch British Tory and you don't like to hear that. But you know, it is a fact. We can have a wee discussion about it in the comments if you like, and I'll bring some. I'll produce the science to back it up, my evidence. You know, I've got big spots in the back of my legs now with they flaming clegs kicking at me, biting me. Right, I need to get home and have that beer. What are you talking about? Are you fed up? You want me to finish 10 minutes early? Aye. There you go, Peter. Aye, 11% entire UK. Aye, that's fine, but we in Scotland, it's 100%. We're fully covered. Just like, for example, if you want to get political for a minute, was it 67% of Scotland voted to stay in the EU? But because the overhaul of the UK was only 48%, we get kicked out, or we get dragged out. So you're 11% for the entire UK. Aye, sorry about that, but we're producing more than we need, and we're selling. So we're not selling some. You get it free because we're part of the United Kingdom. Scotland is full of wind, and I'm happy to contribute that. Windswept, full of wind. Right, Scotland from above. I was just going to go out in the village with the drone. Would have been funny if I'd spotted you on the live. Well, you probably know where I am, right? I'm at Hay Hill, right, halfway up the hill to Hay Hill. So there's where I am. Right, Graham, thanks very much. See, that's what I'm talking about. Graham heard what I said, listened to me. He's thinking to himself, right, if he's going to be going out and doing more of these things, it's going to cost him a bit, and I'm happy to throw it just a couple of litres in his tank. So thanks very much for that, Graham. I do appreciate it. Listen, no, I'm not begging for anything. Right, if you want to contribute something, you can. If you don't, that's fine. I'll probably still go out anyway, you know. So don't worry about it. But aye, you're right. Can I show you this? I don't know if you'll be able to see my leg if I bring it up. No, you can't. I can't touch it. I've got 2 bites in the back of my leg at the moment. You can't see them. That are actually, there's blood coming for them. Right, I'm bleeding. It's like a vampire's fangs actually. That's where they're spaced out. It is. It's like a vampire's bite. I'll take a picture of it and post it up in the community later on and show you that. But aye, it's starting to get bloody itchy. Right, Natalie, hi, how you doing? Hope you're taking it easy, right? And you're getting close to 1,000 subs, I see as well. You're over 800 now. What are you going to do when you hit 1,000? Are you going to monetize your channel? And if you do, then you're going to have to not use the movie clips and the audio and all that anymore. What are you going to do? Or are you going to not monetize and just keep doing what you're doing? Because the stuff you're doing is hilarious. I love it. It's fantastic. Once again, for anyone who doesn't know about Natalie's channel exposing the auditors, right, go over and have a look. It's really funny. All the videos are very short, but Natalie's really clever at taking movie clips and putting for auditors' heads onto the different actors, and it's a lot of fun. So go over there and have a look and subscribe if you want. Get her up to over 1,000. She's over 800 at the moment, because I want to see what she's going to do if she gets if she's able to monetize. Right, okay. Thanks very much, Drone Time Flights. Appreciate that. I will go out and shoot something special. I'll even take anyone who says, look, I've had a look at the area where you are, and there's a castle ruins there, or there's this, or there's a monument. Do you fancy going and doing a live from it? And I'm like, aye, okay, if you've put fuel in my tank, I'll absolutely go and do that, and I'll go and do a live from it. I'm keeping an eye on my time because I don't have a clock up on the screen just now, so I've got to watch what I'm doing. Because as you know, every Sunday night at 8 o'clock, the Drone Seekers International live stream starts, and I like to stalk. Siri's following every single word I'm saying. I better turn off. I like to stop in plenty of time to get onto the Drone Seekers just to watch it. I won't tonight because I've got to pack all this down and then drive home. But I'll try and pop into Drone Seekers live chat for a wee while tonight anyway. So, my God, bloody clicks! I might not come to this particular location again. But so if there are any places that you think, I live in East Ayrshire, but I'll travel anywhere in Ayrshire. If there's anywhere, a big clegg right on the monitor there. If there's anywhere in Ayrshire that you want to look, say, because there's lots of castles, there's lots of ruins, and this is Robert Burns country, right? The famous poet. So there's lots of Burns stuff around here, right? So if there's anywhere you think, I quite fancy seeing what that's like, go ahead and leave a comment or send me a message or an email on that. And Maltese Falcon, thanks very much. I appreciate that super chat. It's certainly going to help. Peter, you're at it again. Thanks very much. So that's great. And Gary's giving me for wee cranky. You're not giving me a super chat for me cranky, are you? Right. So I might need to get a beekeeper outfit to fight off the bugs. Do you know something? In the afternoon when it's really, really hot, it's kind of okay. It's only when the temperature starts to go down a wee bit. I'm teaching you how to soak eggs here. You'll probably all know this. That's when the insects will come out in a wee bit more. But if I can get away with 2 bites, and I think I've maybe got a bite here and a bite here, maybe a bite here and a bite here. If I get away with just a few bites tonight, then I've done okay, I think. So that's pretty much it. A few minutes left to go, and I had a wee glitch with the screen at the moment, but I'm sorting these things out. But this is actually okay, when the weather's nice like this, I don't mind it. And it would be nice. I mean, I'll do some down the coast. I've got a couple of ideas I want to do down the coast, and show you some of the coastline of the west of Scotland, because some of it's absolutely beautiful. Especially, I did some videos on the Sonny Bean Cave and a couple other caves down that way, and it's quite beautiful. So I do quite fancy going down that way and doing a live there, especially if we continue to get this kind of weather. So you'll just have to let me know in the comments once this turns into a video if this is something that you quite like as an addition, or as just to do as a live while we've got the weather, because it won't last long. Couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and it'll all be gone. Maybe a couple of months if we're lucky. But if you want me to continue to come out and about, I am happy to do that, because there's a lot to see in Scotland, particularly the lowlands where I live, because everybody knows about the Highlands, or everybody wants to go to the Highlands, but some of the lowlands are just as stunningly beautiful, and we've got just as much history as the Highlands. Right, so I'm going to wrap it up there, wee bit early, couple of minutes early, but that'll give me a bit of time to start packing down and to head back down the road, and I won't miss too much of the Drone Seeker channel. So thanks everyone who tuned in tonight. Thanks for giving me a thumbs up if you did. If you didn't, there's still time, you can hit that wee thumbs up button right now. And a special thanks for everyone who threw me a super chat there. That'll probably cover my costs for coming out tonight, fuel wise, and probably a wee bit more to get me started on the next place I want to go, or I don't know where I want to go yet, but wherever you might want me to go. So thanks very much for that. I'm going to sign off now 2 minutes early to pack all my stuff down, go home and get some cream on my vampire bites, and jump in a shower as well. So thanks a lot. I'm going to leave you the outro now, and I hope the music plays, and you can see my videos through the week, and I'll see you live again next Sunday. Thanks a lot. Cheerio.